Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Zach. What's good for thee is not for me. Elias, what's up, buddy?
That is correct. What's good for the gander? They all suck.
Not for the goose?
No, I'm the goose. Eat the rat. That was so much fun being able to say eat the rat in context. Just everything. Eat the rat. Just get out of here. Go eat the rat.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Sometimes. Saturdays, we always post it later. Give us a rate. Give us a review. Share the episode. We love the support.
Sometimes it's my anniversary. Eat a bag of dicks. These things happen.
Episode 146, calling this one Bachelorzilla, which is something I think I coined until I found out there's something called Groomzilla, but that doesn't apply to this past weekend.
But that's not what we put after Bachelor. It was the N-word that we throw in it. No, Bachelor Nazi.
Oh, there it is.
All over the place. You wouldn't let us have any fun.
We got a fun one for today. We say that every time, but it's pretty much always true. Before we do, we got to talk about our drinks. Zach, we had a bet last week. Why don't you tell our audience who missed last week's episode what you're drinking and why?
Because my Jets
Jets
were so amazing. I have to drink 3, quote, clear bullshits. So
clear alcohol bullshits.
Yeah, fine. So I told my wife, start at the store, just buy me some clear bullshit. She was like, what? I go, I got Smirnoff for our mics, a clear bullshit. So she shows up with, I don't even know if it's clear, honestly. So we're going to find out, because if it's not, I'm going to have to do this again. I need to read 2 Robbers hard seltzer. Now, there is a lot of art on here.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. Now, it's also cherry flavored. Now, black cherry flavored. Now, she knows. Now, she's known me a really long time. I hate cherry. I hate cherry medicine. I don't go for the cherry lollipop. I don't actually like real cherries. I don't like Dr. Brown's black cherry. This is just her trolling me. She got the one clear bullshit. I would rather have a Zima. But I got 3 of these things I got to put back. So while you talk, I'm going to start.
What am I drinking for today's episode? Also, you're already releasing the Kraken, which we haven't done yet.
I don't give a shit what you're cracking.
I got something fun just because we did an away weekend and there was a pool. This one is called Pool Hopping.
It is a clear bullshit, so it does count.
Deck Beer Hazy Summer Ale from Flying Dog. Zach, do you want to guess which state this brewery is in?
Pennsylvania.
Nope, it would be the great state of Maryland. It is Frederick, Maryland, which is a working title for my first child's name.
My God. This is so... But there's 3?
Release the Kraken.
Talk a lot.
All right, buddy.
Oh, my God. This is 1.5, and Josh Boot over here from the Jets.
Episode 146, Bachelorzilla. This past weekend was my bachelor party, and we had a great time. People are asking about it, and all I say is tune in live, hear about it. We got a lot of good stories to talk about. We're going to do this a top 10. I have some audience participation that I did poll.
Ooh.
But, Zach, why don't we get this going? We've done this many times before. You have some honorable mentions, then we'll get into our top 10.
Hold on. So I got to figure out what my honorable mentions are. I wrote them all down as I thought of them, and now I didn't really rank them. Okay, my first honorable mention. On night 1, like you said, everyone always goes the hardest night 1.
I didn't say that. That wasn't my line.
Someone did. I don't know how hard we went. Midway through night 1, I remember watching Bad Boys 2 while a couch ate me. But nevertheless,
that happened?
I don't know. Meanwhile, I'm walking around the house. It's somewhere between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. I don't know, man. And I walk into, I guess their den or their fireplace room, and there's no one in there. I look to my right, and Big Mike is just doing a jigsaw puzzle alone. So I go, okay, I'll bite. What's doing over there? How you doing there, big guy? He goes, I'm doing a puzzle. I can see that. I'm looking at 1,000 pieces. No, 1,000 pieces was too many. I go, oh, it was 500. 500 is like the sweet spot. Okay. Well, that's it, man. I had nothing else to say to him, and it's like Homer Simpson just backed out.
He loves puzzles.
Him and Eric finished it together.
Jones also jumped in. Zach, the amount of times we've gone on group trips and the kitchen table is dedicated to a puzzle, and I'm the person going, why can't I eat at this? And there's 10 people there, and 6 people want to do the puzzle, and I'm outvoted.
That's ridiculous.
People like puzzles.
What a raucous crew. Woo! The strippers didn't know where to go. There were puzzle pieces everywhere.
Hey-o!
Hey-o. I'm just gonna rattle mine off.
Your honorable mentions until we start doing our top 10.
Okay, hold on.
This is your first episode, 146.
All right, it's 13. For me, just I played golf on the way up there. That was fun. I almost didn't make it to the course because I had to make a shapoopy real badly to the point where I get to the course after sitting in it. I just throw Eric the keys, get the clubs out of the car, and I raced. That was time 1 of 2. I almost shat myself this weekend. We'll get to the other later.
You're also doing better than most people.
What is that?
You're doing better than most when it comes to almost shot yourself, because that is actually on the list of audience participation of one of their least favorite moments. But Zach, I told you from the time you left your house to the time you got home. So the fact that you did golfing, I appreciate you threw that in there.
Why?
Because the party, it's a part of your weekend.
It was my weekend, yeah. And I timed it well and found a course that was 5 minutes away, so I got there at 4:30. I thought I did a very good job with that. Course
Get through these 3 honorable mentions, and you can start drinking.
All right, fine. Softball game was fun. Just fun. Good thing. You were like a goddamn statue, except you got a hose one time. Other than that, you were like watching the Venus de Milo. Stone statue, no arms. The whole thing was a mess.
I was in bad shape. I was taking relay throws from shortstop. I don't even think I moved my feet. I just turned around to catch them.
You didn't even turn around. You just turned your torso. You're like one of those action figures where you twist it and it spins back from like the 90s.
So is this a memorable moment or a highlight of your weekend?
No, because they're all the same. There was not, I hate to say it, it was a lot of fun. It actually, there was no big moment. There was no like one singular moment where we all got into like a bar fight with townies or something.
No,
like
almost famous. Somebody was on the roof screaming.
No, but there were a lot of little ones that were just nuggets of gold.
There were a lot of little ones at this bachelor party. You being one of them.
Tons, tiny schmeckles. We were like 14 inches combined, all of us.
All right, let's go into your top 10.
Do you have any honorable mentions? You did like
no. I actually follow the rules when we actually do this. I stick to 10. A top 10 is 10.
Right. Dynamite. Good for you. For me, my number 10 out of this, you weren't there for half of this because you were asleep.
For half of your list, I was asleep. For the 1 hour of the 72-hour weekend.
It was the best hour of the trip.
What an asshole.
Anyway, so I guess we'll bury the lead. Your boy Timmy got smashed day 1. We'll get to that.
I didn't plan on using names, by the way. I was going to make this very... I wasn't going to use names. I was going to make this one guy.
This one guy... You know what? I'm going to go in a different order. I'll change it up because they're in no order. One guy got... I just gave his name away. Got absolutely annihilated night 1 to the point it was absolutely hysterical. I'll put that at 10 because it comes back with 9. To the point that this guy is sitting at a blackjack table like this. We're giving him shots of water. I think that's tacky, so I give him actual shots when he hits blackjack just to keep it going. Not realizing that this guy this is his thing. So I just met him. So everyone else is giving him like shots of water by design. Not me. I got him there. Then he came up and pinched me in the nipples. And we hit each other in the nuts. And I went down and threw half a beer across the room. But that didn't happen.
So let's just tell that one of our friends dealt blackjack for us. So we didn't have to leave the house. So we were actually gambling. So I'll just go ahead and jump in. Zach, my number 2 moment of the weekend was said friend who was unconscious at a blackjack table in this house. And the blackjack dealer was being a little bit of a capital N, lowercase z. Yep. And they were you had 19, you had to actually wave your hand. If you had 6, you had to tap the table to get a card. It was ridiculous.
Because there's an eye in the sky.
Goddamn ridiculous. But the fact that one of my friends is basically passed out at a blackjack table, and I call this the weekend at Bernie's, you had to pick his hand up and shake it side to side to say he does not want any more cards. The man has 19. It was... Yeah. Easily my number 2 moment of the weekend because I'm just laughing about it, thinking about it.
That's pretty good. So what's your 10?
My number 10, I was really not excited for the UFC fight, but I watch every single one. The last couple fights of the card ended up being pretty good. The only ones that I wanted to see. I love UFC. The fact that I think some people were bored, other people kind of got into it for me, but I said, these 2 fighters, there's going to be blood because I watch this shit every weekend. And these 2 fighters.
I was getting bloodied up at the casino. And I did. Woo.
Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, when it comes to UFC fights, if you sneeze too hard, they start bleeding. So I called during the day, it's going to be a bloody fight. The one guy's shin is just hemorrhaging within the first minute. It made me look real good. Like, wow, you really know this. But for me, the UFC fight was great watching with some of my friends. Number 9.
For me, number 9. All right, I'll do that. So the guy that got hammered was like struggling on Saturday morning. And we're all at the pool after afternoon. Alan's taking his siesta. And I'm talking across the pool area to someone, and got to get some volume to get there. We're outdoors. I didn't even realize he's like sleeping next to me. He wakes up and goes, "Will you shut up? You're talking so fucking loudly." He's like yelling at me, and the place says, "I go, what do you want me to do?" He's 15 feet away. He goes, "I don't know, man. Just talk quieter." He's screaming at me. You missed that. The room dying. The crew fell down laughing.
That's funny.
You're number 9.
My number 9, I think I've told you the story and you appreciated it, but I got a couple of awkward gazes. But at my bachelor party of 20 people, I have a black friend. Okay? I love the guy. I have nothing bad to say. He tends to disappear at times, and he likes his steak cooked a very certain way, and usually more well done, as his skin color is. And as finally, as we're sitting there cooking the steak, I'm going, let's just call him H. Where's H? Where's H? Everybody wants to know where H is, and it is pitch black outside. And I turn to somebody, I go, look, he could be standing right there for all we know. And multiple people look at me like, you are such a horrible person. Now,
I wasn't one of those people.
There's nothing racist about what I said. The kid's very dark-skinned. It was a funny joke. I love him. I'd take a bullet for him. I thought it was very funny.
The chest or the leg?
Like a pinky. Oh,
Yeah.
Zach, unrelated. On Barstool today, there was a clip, and it was watch hockey coach lose a finger. So naturally, I clicked the article. Scroll down. You have to go, are you sure you want to see this? Click this link. You click the link, it goes, seriously, we're giving you a warning. Are you? And I keep going. You finally get to the video. You have to watch it, like, because you're not even sure what's going on. The guy goes to close the penalty box, and you, like a carrot, his finger snaps off. It was great. Number 8. Yep.
For me, you didn't really see it again. I think you were napping for a chunk of this. Yard golf was a lot.
Your whole list is the 1 hour I took a nap at my bachelor party.
You napped for like 3 hours.
You're wrong.
You were out. Maybe you're just inside pounding off. I don't know, the UFC videos. But yard golf with C and E and Z. How
just a couple people.
Z and Eric. And I took them to fucking school. That was my best moment. I was unstoppable. She is sitting 8, and I'm on him 2. It was fun back there. We just pulled one random shit pitching wedge, balls that were like gray, and we just did it. We used one club the whole time. It was hysterical. It was actually walking with our beers. It was a good time out there.
My number 8 was at the pool as well, where you can make fun of my boy for being in a bad place on Saturday. I was equally in a bad place, but I had a great speaker, plugged it in at the house, blast it towards the pool, and I just decided I'm going to be so selfless. I put on, depends on how you look at it, either the best Fish set list I could make or one song, because people didn't know when the songs were changing. They were so long. But
that's why you had Terrapin Station on there, not because it's the Terrapins, because it's a 15-minute song.
No, also, but I really like that. But when we played Fish and Dead at the pool, I was jamming. I really enjoyed it. Best part, though, is when we get in the car to leave, I'm with my landlord's younger brother and another friend, and we decide on what are we going to play for music. Kid in the backseat, who's all 29, goes, I could go for some more Grateful Dead. I looked at him like, wait, seriously? I was pretty sure I tortured people with that. And I quickly go, listen, I'll vote 2-1 right now in the car. But I decided to be nice and play some stupid punk music for Joshy. So number 7, Zacharias.
That's a moment? Playing music in your car?
No. At the pool with the speaker and the fish.
Okay. Number 7. Which of these do I want to call 7? Okay, this was fun for me. I thought during the kickball game. I'm playing first, and a ball is kicked sort of near me by K. Can I do names?
Go ahead.
Co kicked the ball.
As long as it's not bad. As long as it's not like, so this asshole shot himself.
Well, that was almost me. So Co kicks the ball. We all call it foul, but it actually did nick first base. So he's running up the line. He just stops and stands like a statue. So They hit first base. And for no real reason,
pegged him.
I just drilled them in the back. And he took 2 steps back. I don't know. Gotta be there, but it made me laugh. Like, the play was clearly dead. Yes, it was a fair ball. We all called it foul. And I just drilled him. Because one guy goes, I hit first base. I don't know. Maybe you laugh. It's funny. He was like tits on a bull the whole weekend. This is sort of useless. Good guy. He couldn't catch, couldn't throw, couldn't run.
Good at impregnating. He won't be at the wedding.
What? He's pregnant?
Yeah, basically.
He is. Because he's also not a very good mover. But that was besides the point.
He's better than he played.
Also, speaking of impregnating, thank God now he's got some kids, because he runs a kids product website, but has no kids, has no clout, has no bearing. He's just making it up.
Did you hear about his new project? Because I've lived through 12 years of this, but his new app idea is he goes, because you know, like when you pitch an app, you go, it's this meets this. He goes, it's Tinder for kids. Like, wait, what?
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
A lot of kids fucking out there.
My number 7, like, I think you're the only one who appreciated this, but when we're playing blackjack, or I'm smart enough not to play blackjack, but blackjack is happening.
Alan, this is my one.
And do you want to tell the story?
No, tell the story. I don't know.
I'm just sitting back there. I mean, I'm pretty hammered, and I'm watching this blackjack table where, 19, 20, 19, 19, 18.
Nobody got dealt lower than an 18.
Right. The dealer has, I don't know, a fakakta 8 or something, and you just see 3, 2, 4, 5, 2.
Like 17 card Charlie.
17 card blackjack. People are screaming. They're going, oh my God, how did that happen?
Yeah, it was the singular line of the weekend.
And I just turned and I go, have you never played blackjack?
No, have you never seen blackjack?
Oh, I said, have you never seen blackjack? Like, this is what happens every single time.
I have to take a knee, because it's not like they all had like 14s and stuck. Nobody had worse than an 18. They all had win hands, and he's just pulling tiny card until he gets to 21. You might as well pull 21 aces, like ones.
But their reaction of like, how did that just happen?
And then he just like cleans the table. And your answer is, you've never seen blackjack before.
Every time I'm at a blackjack table, you just kicked in the dick over and over and over and over and over. And I was
got
like,
the doors blown off me at Mount Airy Lodge. Let's call it breaking even. Woo! I think Zoe's going to community college. God.
You're number 6, buddy.
Okay, I mean, I'll call that one 6. None of these are in any given order. Honestly, dodgeball.
Hold on. Time out. We'll do you again. Steve Tannenbaum joining the conversation. 1, never submitted his audience participation. But 2, the Beverly Hills Cop theme song when blackjack happened. The dumbest.
Annoying as
so annoying. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to yuck their yum. But now what I did enjoy was when we were pouring shots the first night every time somebody hit 21. That was actually a fun idea.
Yeah, except for I kept giving the guy who shall remain nameless real booze. They got like annihilated and probably pissed, and you slept with him.
Over the covers, under the covers.
Yeah, he could piss all over you. He's like, Fuller. Rubber sheets are packed. Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi.
Number 6, Aki. Start over.
Dodgeball in general. I didn't respect it. I didn't know what it was going to be. I was so sore the next day because I didn't remember.
What was his name?
Exactly. I was like nimble out there. And then you're like, you were chaos. You had no strategy. I go, yeah, no, of course I have no strategy. I'm going to wait and just get the ball and throw. But everyone's like, ooh, go for this guy. Go for the Asian. Go for the black guy. No, give me the ball.
Nobody said go for the black guy.
You all said that. And then, give me the ball and let me fucking fire away. I got the people out. I was throwing heat. My arm hurt so much the next day.
Yeah, I'm still not okay.
Dead shoulder. Didn't me either.
My number 6.
Fun. I mean, I was hot. I was taking my shirt off midway through. We should have played shirts and skins.
The amount of people that were like, I'm going to go shower. I mean, you might want to hold off till we're done playing dodgeball.
Did you see me at the end of the gazebo with a beer and no shirt on? I was dead. I'm sitting here with a Coors Light, no shirt, like in a gazebo, just like this. I hate my life.
I saw an ET looking fella out there one of those nights.
Oh, yeah, was my little. So yeah, all right, fine. I woke up at 3 a.m. to pee, and I see one of the guys there, and I'm just like in no shirt. I look at the end of ET when he's dying in the river, just pale and gross and white. Just dying.
My number 6. Look. I love softball. I even said I'm playing shortstop because I'm the best player there. I couldn't move. I was so hungover that anything was so bad. But I'll just say, and to toot my own horn, we needed outs. And there was a relay throw. Now, Granted, the one guy was not running. I just remember hearing home, 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 send it. And not to mention, the whole other team is behind home plate. The relay throw comes in, and I perfectly hop it, catch it, turn, fire, put out at home. For me, granted it was me, highlight of the weekend.
We won in extra innings. It was very exciting.
Although, ball don't lie. If that game ends the way it's supposed to, I hit a single, we walk off.
Yo, what happened? Someone got tossed at thrown at third or like
it was a forced play. I don't want to get into that. It's not entertaining.
But that was fun. We won in extras. Meanwhile, our kickball team put up like 1 run. We stunk it out. So I didn't know the rules. I didn't know we could tag up, though I did get more hits than you did.
Number 5.
By the way, I think on the kickball, we got 5 hits and nobody else on our team got 1. No.
Facts.
Okay.
5.
Number 5 for me. Well, I've already got. I'm going to go with the you've never seen blackjack before because I'll move stuff up. But that made me laugh harder than anything. But fine, go.
I guess I even meant like, have you never played blackjack? But I would.
Have you never said it? Have you never seen blackjack? You know this is going to happen because it always happens. Does the dealer ever lose? Ever? No. No.
How about the dealer who sits down and goes, "Hey, who's staking this?" By the way, kid's doing all right for himself. I go, "I'll stake it." Are you kidding me? It's like if we would have played craps that weekend. Yeah, because I'm either gonna make a fortune or lose a little bit. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, the dealer at the casino was pregnant by a lot, about to have a kid, like
by a lot,
belly hanging over the chips, and like talking trash to everyone. She was like pretty much the dealer in Vegas Vacation, or really in Suicide Kings. Oh, Kings, give me the chips. Have you seen Suicide Kings? No. Excellent Walken movie. Jay Moore and Walken, top notch.
Just doing each other's bit the whole time?
No, Jay Moore apparently made fun of him the whole movie. He was like doing. That's where he learned how to do it.
Moore does a great Walken.
Yeah, that's where he learned how to do it. And he said he was following him around doing it, torturing Walken the whole time, dude. The movie's really good. It's in the 90s. Dennis Leary, amazing in it. Watch that tonight.
You know Moore is a notorious joke thief, right?
Of yours?
I should be so lucky.
Yeah. All right, go on.
My number 5, I guess I kind of just remembered it now, but there were 2 plays in the kickball game that were just so good. The first one was when we had our big guy, who wasn't the most mobile, Nate, where it was a slow roller back to him. And instead of leaning over to pick the ball up, he just soccer kicks it to first base for the which was so good because the ball's there. He just side kicks it, and it was like we all stopped for a second and went, I've never seen that.
He barely moved too.
He didn't do anything.
He's but so lax.
The one, and there's a world. I'm going to quote Zach Elias here. There's a world that this is my Duke. This is my number 1 because it was so fucking funny when it happened that, you know, people are running around the bases, and it was said drunk person who's going from second to third, and little guy, eat the rat in the outfield, throws the ball in, and had the guy just kept running, totally safe. But
I forgot about that.
He decides to kind of try to avoid the ball, completely misses it, hits him in both of his legs as he's scissoring to come together. And like the Phillies guy who gets tasered, his legs come together and he eats shit flat on his face.
I forgot all about that. He like
it was like a he went stiff in the air,
like a pencil, and then just toppled over like Family Guy when they just fold.
Oh my god! For like, that again, there's a world that's my number 1.
I forgot all about that. That was fucking hysterical. All right, that's a good one.
Number 4.
Number 4 is I've never had cereal before. When your friend, I don't remember his name, never
Who was it?
ate.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he had never in his life. He's like a family of 7. I don't remember his name.
Oh, it was Justin. Yeah,
sure it was.
That was weird. I don't believe him. I don't believe that.
Cereal.
I don't believe that.
In his late 30s, early 40s. I don't fucking know. Never had a Cheerio. Baffling.
Yeah,
loved it.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
loved it.
I don't know how that's possible, especially growing up in an Irish Catholic family where you're just feeding gruel to these kids. 7 of them. He's great.
By the way, we're gonna have the same number 1, I think.
No, we won't. My number 4. Some people miss this, but the plan, and everybody knew, Hooters football on the Sunday. Granted, we had no energy. Football's the best. It could, you know what? Maybe it's because
Hooters.
There might have been because it's week 1 and it was just a little bit more. But and they didn't even have the wings that I like. Just getting together with everybody, sitting there and drinking. Wait for it. $14 pitchers of beer. I don't know if people realize their Venmo requests were pretty light. $14 pitchers of beer, and that was the full price. We didn't even stay for the specials.
Hey, Jenna, reject that Venmo request.
She paid it like 5 minutes ago.
I hate you.
Number 3.
Okay, number 3. I'm gonna go. Only Eric was there, but when we're driving from the house to the furthest Hooters away that you picked in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, like 9 hours away from the house.
It was an hour and 20 minutes, and it was 5 minutes.
Hour and 30 and change. Anyway,
you had to drive that anyway, you idiot, back to New York.
Circuitous.
It was only bad because it was pouring rain.
Well, whatever. So we're on a 1-lane road, and I've got a shapoopy. So
a girl who's hard to get.
So he's discussing like, how do you pick a good place? I was like, I don't know. Like, it's got to look clean. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. And then it gets real bad, and we're 40 minutes away, and this is on a residential street. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go. I gotta pull into the Toyota dealership. I'm like, I might have to buy a car here. Like, what do we do?
I'll take the car. Where's your bathroom?
Yeah, there's a chance where I'm walking out of here with a Camry, but I don't. I keep going, and then I just put the blinker on and cross the double yellow line and go into a Mexican restaurant. I pull into the lot like sideways. He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Dude, seconds, not minutes." He goes, "What? Seconds, not minutes?" And I bolt. Second time in the weekend. But
did you put the car in park?
Sure.
Tuck and roll.
Maybe. I don't know. I just drooled. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I think I did, but I left the keys in to give him some music or air. Best should have taken the last 12 years.
Wow.
It was a nice bathroom. Bombed it. Just bombed it.
How are you doing your beers? You're doing a lot of talking.
This is what's left.
Oh, you put all 3 in there.
I've been adding to it, but yeah, all 3 empty cans. I'm doing my thing. So that's that. That to me was very funny. He was dying. It was just like literally just it's on. Just like found a Mexican place and went.
As much as we badmouth,
I honestly, seconds not minutes, would have just shit myself, and I would have missed Hooters because I would have just gone straight home. I mean, how do I perform after that at Hooters?
As much as we badmouth your boy Eric on this podcast, the amount of people that came up to me after the weekend and go, he's way better than I thought. And you know what I responded? I said, he had a good set. He's not that funny.
He's not. He didn't even have a great set. We were all being nice to each other.
He was delightful this past weekend. My number...
One thing about me, it was a disaster.
Just wait till the feedback.
The feedback.
My number 3, granted, I could just have said beer pong. Playing pong, having fun. Granted, we used water cups, was a lot of fun, but I always start off.
We didn't use water cups for every table. Then I'll get it said in 2 seconds. Continue.
When you play 15 or 21 cup, you're not aiming. So I generally, just to be an asshole, big shocker, I go underhand for the mic until I miss because you're just throwing it up and praying. I do that.
First shot.
First, and if I hit it, I keep going till I miss. So I hit like my first 4 or 5. Me and my buddy Jay across the table, he goes, "Do you want to go underhand the whole game?" I play the whole game. Now we're down to 1-on-1 cup at the end. He goes, "Do you want to switch?" I say no. Drain the last cup underhand. Best moment of the weekend for me. But I'm putting in number 3.
Alcohol was in this stuff. Jesus, 5.2%. That's 15%. What am I doing? What am I up to? That was
number
your 3. I'm number 2 now. That was your 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So speaking of beer pong tables, you pansies were playing with water in the main room.
Not my call.
I don't give a shit whose call it was. I couldn't care less. So here's what my call was: to change the other table in the kitchen to a real beer pong table with like beer and actual cups. We start throwing shit everywhere to clean this giant table off. Like literally, it was chaos. And you walk in and you look around and there is stuff in the sink. There's stuff. You look horrified. The first night, you spent half the night cleaning up after us assholes. You
guys were very messy.
Not us guys, me mostly. You were like our maid, but as I said earlier, no honor. Not made up. You were cleaning up I didn't see you drink all night. You were just cleaning. Like
I was drinking, so and I made up for it.
You shit about it. But like literally, we just like swept the table, moved it to avoid the light instead of a real beer pong game. You walked in and you said, "What are you guys doing?" I looked at you and go, "We're playing Beirut with beer." And you looked around and just bailed. You were so mad. We just like, the place was gross.
I was pretty curious.
Anything that was in the sink that didn't belong in there was courtesy of me.
Yeah. So I decided if I ever do a trip again,
I don't know if I used the garbage can. I was just throwing beer cans in the yard. That was We're supposed to do, right?
I'm bringing a Sharpie, and people are going to have to label their cups. Maybe it might be you and Chi next time, but I can't believe how messy you guys are. Cannot believe it.
Yeah, we kicked ass.
No, you were literally grabbing a beer from the fridge and just putting the empty on the floor when the trash was right next to it.
But yeah, it's a bachelor party.
Asshole.
Like,
Go ahead.
What do you want me to do? No, you're up.
My number 2 was the Weekend at Bernie's blackjack table.
Oh.
Number 1.
Okay. During dodgeball, this is your one, isn't it?
It's not. I don't
really?
remember this.
But you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Down goes Frazier. It's just a general people.
I mean, so fucking. How do you know that's what I'm saying? During dodgeball,
I know what makes you laugh.
Individual goes for a ball, stumbles Scooby Doo style, his feet just spun.
I'm pretty sure there was a sound effect. I was like, it was bad.
Falls
it was bad.
First into the tennis net. I don't know how to describe it other than it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I wasn't playing that game, so I got a real good aerial view because I could be an observer. Chef kiss, funniest thing of the weekend. I couldn't stop laughing. I think I'd take a knee.
As long as people don't get hurt, I personally
not in your top 10
because I just want to make sure nobody gets hurt. But I love
shit.
Physical humor for me is always no. I enjoy. I mean,
and
for
you get
me,
a client.
My number 1 really should be when we got to Hooters, watching everybody try to walk into Hooters after a weekend of the most athletic stuff they've done in years.
When I had to go take that shit, the hardest part of it was standing up. I wobbled backwards. My legs didn't work. My knees hurt. Eric's laughing at me. When you go to Hooters, he gets up and goes, "You're right. Standing is hard." It was horrible. My
number 1, honestly, and you're not going to believe me, but I really enjoyed seeing all my friends being so happy. I'm a very selfish person.
Was fun.
Very selfish.
By the way, you got super lucky, but the weather helped.
Oh my God. It poured on Sunday.
If it had been like it was the whole weekend, we would have killed each other. It would have been Fight Club. We would have beat the shit out of each other. It would have been massacre. Some of us wouldn't have got out there alive. We would eat people. It would have been cannibalism.
Tanta Marlene with the question.
Zach, was this your best bachelor party ever? Best fun? Yeah, sure.
Best fun. Good times. Best fun. It's
fun. It's good. We both think she's Eastern European. It's best fun. It's good. What you want, man? Scusi. Anyway.
So finishing up on my 1, the fact that people showed up, my friends, these are 20 of my best friends in the world, and the people go, "Oh my God, I can't believe he has, Warlock beer. Oh, look, sugar cookies. Look how lucky I got." You idiots. I was the one who bought the food. I got something special for everybody there. And the amount of people who didn't realize, they thought they got lucky. Oh my God, there's gummy bears? Wow, that's incredible.
That was aimed at me. And if you call those sweatshop gummy bears real bears, I got another thing for you, Toots. Those were not bears. That was Costco brand. Haribo or nothing, but the Oreos at 3 a.m. were delightful.
Speaking of which, do you have the thing I gave you, the black pouch, or should we say that for next week?
Have the black pouch right here at
the
ready. I have no idea what's
We're going live because Zach...
I called it 7, like Gwyneth Paltrow's head is in here.
All the groomsmen got groomsmen gifts. You're not a groomsman, but being officiant of the wedding, I wanted to get you something. We're doing this live on air. You're going to open, and then next week we're going to do the follow-through with this. Zacharias Elias, go ahead and open your groomsman present.
Oh, it's a natty bow. I'm very excited. That's what I shall drink. And a Magnum condom.
Magnum,
wrapped in a newspaper. Jesus Christ, this is how you like weed back in the 90s. A 91 Fleer baseball card set. Should I open them now or next week?
We could do this on air next week.
I'm so excited for this. I have to wait a week on this?
Yes.
Do you know how ADD this is going to talk to me and keep me up at night?
Zach, it's Chipper Jones. What are you thinking about?
Chipper Jones.
I know.
When I had my engagement ring and I had to propose, and it's like, you're going to do it. You're a big pussy, man. Come on. It doesn't get me up at night. By the way, we could also do top 10 least favorite athletes. Chipper Jones in my top 2 up there with Utley or Reggie Miller. Well, you fucking ass.
All right, Zach. I polled the audience.
Right, here it is. Hold on.
Beautiful. We're not done. I polled the audience.
Bottoms up.
I told everybody this would be anonymous. So I have a couple of answers for some people's favorite parts. I got people's favorite parts of the weekend, and I also said,
And I get to keep that pleather thing, right?
yeah, sure.
Good.
I also have people's not favorite parts of the weekend. Are you ready? So, favorite part, I'm not saying who it is. I told everybody to keep them anonymous. One, watching a bunch of old guys suck at sports, including Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson. But this person said, I want to include that as their most favorite and their least favorite because we were fucking horrible out there. Next, most people said this answer. Drinking and barbecuing like we were young again with a really good group of guys. I'd actually go as far to say there wasn't a weak link there. Everybody was pretty friendly, pretty nice. We got along really well.
Did you see Cole play sports?
One guy said, because I had a lot of people
we did get along really well. In an eclectic crew, we did meld well.
There wasn't any arguments, I don't think.
Well, I mean, Timmy hit me in the nuts, not to a beer at him, but it's all good.
A lot of people were really worried about the sports. People were so worried about sports, like, I don't want to be the best. Somebody said, I'm really happy that I wasn't the worst one in all the activities, and they were really worried.
He was the worst one.
Next, somebody complimented my crab cakes that I made from scratch, and that's all I needed. And they say
I'm seething.
I don't care.
I wanted a personal crab cake with no mayo because you say I won't taste it, but Princess and the Pea over here, I know I will. I want a personal non-mayoed crab cake. You wouldn't do it. He wouldn't even answer me. He just ignored me and walked right by.
Like I'm doing right now. Another person really loved, quote, the buffoonery of the blackjack table, including watching somebody split threes, quote, 12 times. Also, I saw a guy split twos against the dealer, and this was somebody who really wanted to go to the blackjack casino. I was like, you really should stay. You'll save a lot of money. Dealer had like a 19 or something.
He claimed to have broken even.
Get the fuck out. No, I don't believe that. He doesn't listen to this podcast. No chance.
Yeah. I at least own up that I got bombed, just blown up by the pregnant lady.
I think you can figure out who said this, but quote, I really loved a weekend of doing man shit.
None of us were men, but I'm going to go with
Democrat, Republican, or liberal.
Oh, Nate said that? Good for him.
A bunch of people said playing dodgeball. I'll give you a hint. They're all people who I played dodgeball with. Somebody loved playing softball. Some people even said, wow, softball was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Getting back to me doing personalized choice. Somebody goes, I really like that you individualized. Somebody said, I love that you individualized the beer choices, obviously. And then this one was great. The worst part was the fact that they lost, but the best part was the fact that they beat me. And I quote, was the theme to make sure that you lose at everything this weekend? Because I had multiple entries into everything we played, and I was dead last in everything.
You won the softball game.
I did win the softball game.
Yeah, we didn't do so well. Our team in kickball. Jesus, we had one run. Everyone else put up like 8. But other than that, yeah, it was. Let me
run through the lowlights. I'm just going to do this all real quick. Junk food plus alcohol equals destroying your stomach. I can attest to that. I got
2-3 days.
Most people said playing dodgeball purely because they were just their bodies hurt so much by the time dodgeball was about to start. They're like, oh, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah, dodgeball should have been in the kickball spot.
Wouldn't have had enough people.
Oh,
my buddy who shows up late goes, you ran out of Labatt Blue because that's his favorite beer. It's like, well, don't show up halfway through the party. Not my
favorite. Seeing a Labatt Blue, but actually, that's not true. I had one, and I commented that Canadian beers like moonshine.
It's great. Somebody goes, not having dinner and having to survive off of, quote, a hodgepodge of chips. Multiple people said that, and I returned with, because people gave me a lot of shit of, wait, why were you cooking the whole time? There was food in the freezer. Why didn't you lazy fucks get up and make some of it?
We ate plenty. I didn't touch a grill, and I was stuffed the whole weekend. And when I wasn't stuffed, I was the only person who touched the Oreos, which you gave me shit about. What time was that? It had to be 3 a.m. I was eating Oreos.
Quote, next time, bring Advil, which I really, really wish I had some Advil. That was a bad.
I mean, it was Tums.
I brought Tums. I didn't think of the Advil.
We did lines on the shipper's ass of Tums, but I don't remember Advil at all. That would have been a good find.
Segue to 2 people. They were casino participants, and I quote, no boobies.
Wait, at the casino?
2 people that went to casinos said no boobies. That was their least favorite part.
It wasn't me and it wasn't Eric, and there only 4 people went to the casino. So we're winnowing this down here. She is so desperate for boobies. Yeah, I'm calling him out. Man up.
Somebody else goes. The smell of 20 boys was not my favorite part. It got a little raunchy in there. Not to mention the downstairs, no AC. That was pretty brutal. The rooms
No.
upstairs were great, but the fact that
Yeah,
downstairs,
they were great. My room did smell, and I realized it was my softball bag.
another guy getting back to being too sore. They were like the day after soreness, my ass still hurts. I'm like, who'd you share a bed with?
Timmy.
I'm sure you know who hated softball the most, so I don't have to bring that up. But saving the main event,
Did he really?
warm beer and multiple people said,
Yeah, man, like it wasn't okay.
multiple people said, Zach, and I quote, he can be a bit much.
Whoa! I was a low light.
I said it's saying anonymous. They were just like, he just didn't stop complaining. I actually, you know what? I was the one who said he
complained about
everything the whole
Did I?
weekend. Yeah, it was bad.
I love the weekend.
The problem is your shtick is to complain. So half of your complaints, you were just being a pain in the ass. But half of your complaints were real complaints.
All right, I'm pulling Robert Sala. I'm taking receipts.
Oh,
I want
so,
names.
so good.
I want names.
Cool.
Who
0-1.
complained. I'm taking receipts on who complained about me. Let's hear it.
Boozer Dad of the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. It went a little long, but we had some fun.
Oh, fuck the long. The My Pillow guy got arrested or his phone taken away at a Hardee's. That's on my list of things to talk about. And Ty Cobb's dentures got auctioned off.
Save those for next week, Zach. We're going to go back to doing a full episode next week where we're going to do some trivia. Tune in. We had fun. We'll keep doing this.
Seething that I was a low light.
This episode, purely for me.
Seething.
We out.
Seething.